Everyone, I'm Rebecca from the Stitchery. I'm here today with another thrifting haul video. So I'm just going to get the camera set up and we're going to go through what I got. And how do I explain this? I guess calculate how much money I saved versus buying it new. You'll see what I mean in a minute, so let me just get the camera set up. So I was not originally planning on thrifting today. I had plans to go to the greenhouse and get some plants for the front of the house, as well as materials so I could repot all my plants, and I did do that. But in between, I ended up going in a thrift store, a Goodwill specifically, with my sister, and I was browsing around and I found a whole bunch of these bag yarns, and they didn't have a specific section for craft supplies, so they're just kind of randomly thrown in baskets throughout the aisles of knickknacks. So I went through and gathered all of them. It was like a really fun game. So these are what they all are, and most of them were priced at 8 or 6, and there's, you know, 2 or 3 skeins in each bag. So we're just going to look through all of these. I'm pretty sure I got the better end of this deal, but at the end I'll calculate up and see how much they would have been if I bought them from an actual yarn shop instead of from Goodwill. So, and I got a couple other things too that we'll look at the end. So let me just put, and I bought the basket as well, but I'll put this aside. So let's start with these ones, and I actually bought some of this yarn at a yarn shop on one of my videos. So this one is the Quince & Co. Chickadee Sport. So this is pea coat. And is this the same? Yep, pea coat. So these are both the same. That's good to know. And it's like a navy blue color, I think. It doesn't quite look black. And then a lone skein of the same thing. I don't know why they didn't just put it together, but they didn't. There was more. I think someone bought enough to make a sweater. So we've got, this one's not quite in the skein shape, but yep, more pea coat. And I'll put this one back in the skein. And so far they're all the same lot number too, so that's cool. And each of these, like I said, are in these ones specifically, they're in bags labeled $6, and there's 2 skeins in each of them. So again, not quite in a skein, but that's okay. And still pea coat lot 10, so everything's matching up. That's nice. Alright, I'm just trying to make sure if there's any more of that same yarn in here. I think that's it for the pea coat. Okay, so we'll get this one next. This one has 3 skeins in it, and it's labeled $8. So this has a safety pin on it. So I think there was a label, but it doesn't seem to be attached. It's definitely wool, I'm just not sure what it is. And then we've got 1 skein of Pata, which is 100% superwash Uruguayan merino in the color Avatar from Rinda Yarn. This one's just incredible. So this is Forbidden by Fiber Co. in the color Fortitude. It's 100% superwash merino. Or is the color Pretty Woman? That's a good question. It's probably Pretty Woman, now that I think about it. Maybe it's Forbidden Fiber Co. Yeah, Forbidden Fiber Co. and then the yarn would be Fortitude, and the color is Pretty Woman. That's my guess. But this is like my favorite color palette. This is awesome. Love that. All right, so then we got these two, which are in a bag for $8. They're just kind of random. I'm not sure who matched them up. So if you look, this one looks very similar to this and has the safety pin that has the tag. So I think these are the same thing. So this is Twist Sport, 100% Canadian wool. This one's in the color Earthen, hand dyed in Montreal. So yeah, I'm pretty sure these two are the same thing. And then we've got one skein of Apple Fiber Studio, what does that say? Striped Candy Beanie? No. Oh, someone must have written on there like what they were planning on making. So the color is Barn Door. That makes more sense. Microbrewed in Bellingham, Washington. I've never seen it called microbrewed before. That's interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with the... Oh, okay. It's just tied there. That's why it looked funny. Alright. I like that color. And... got these. This is my favorite bag. So this was $6, and I'm gonna say there's one full skein and two like mini skeins, I think. Yeah. So we've got Lucky Violet Color Company in Glinda Gold. And okay, Glinda Gold I think is the base, and the color is Corn Candy. I don't know why they didn't say candy corn instead of corn candy. Doesn't really matter, but I can see what they mean. It's definitely candy corn type colors. And then we have these two, which are Apple Fiber Studio in Candy Ribbon. I love them so much. This one right here, I love it. I love both of them though. They'll look great together. So it is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, so it's not like the softest stuff in the world, but it is really nice. All right, and we got this one. So $6, 2 skeins. We've got one skein of Rowan Kid Silk Haze. Love that stuff. It's like a navy blue color, I think. It's not quite black. And then this one doesn't have a tag on it, but you can tell it's a full skein of sock yarn of some sort. Really pretty. Love the colors on it, and it's definitely at least 100 grams. This is a pretty hefty skein. And we've got these three for $6, which is crazy. Let's see. For some reason I'm having a harder time getting this one open. They seem to have used more tape on this one. Alright, so the brand is Lolo Did It. So this is USA DK, 100% superwash merino wool, Trim Up the Tree. And then we've got same yarn but in the color Whoville. And Christmas Means a Little Bit More. So they are like really similar, but they're all slightly different colors. These two in particular are almost the same, and this one's significantly different. So I'm kind of wondering if they meant to do a fade with them, because you can see that this brownish color matches the brownish color here, so maybe they meant to do a fade. I don't know. And then the last skein of yarn I bought was the one I paid most for. And it was in a bag all by itself for $15. And it is blank. Naked even. Alright, so this is Miss Babs Yowza DK, 100% superwash merino wool, 560 yards for $46 in the color Naked, which means not dyed. Alright, do they have grams on this? Yeah, it's 8 ounces. Okay, so it's a pretty hefty skein of yarn. That's a lot of yarn for $15. I mean, I can't wait to dye this. It's really soft. All right, so the other two things I got beyond the basket, of course, which I wanted. Mike's been asking for this movie, and I finally found it. I think this one is the older one. It probably says collector's edition under there, but it doesn't necessarily from the art look like they've spiffed it up or anything, which is good. He wanted the one he watched in the 80s, I think it was. Anyway, this is what he wanted. And I found this fascinating thing. This thing's really heavy. I have an ammonite on a necklace that my brother gave me. And as far as I can tell, this is a real ammonite. It is very heavy. And someone hot glued a clock to it. So I'm gonna be removing the clock and just have the ammonite on display somewhere in my house because it's really cool and I just really like fossils. So I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I have all this yarn now. And it is a lot, I know, but I'm gonna add up how much I spent on the yarn versus how much I would have spent on it if I bought it full price. So I'm gonna go get a calculator and work on that on my, with my computer so I can look up the prices, and I'll be right back. Alright, so that was a pretty significant savings. Even with the fact that I don't know what this one is or where it came from. I'm just guessing it's indie dyed, which would put it in the 25 to 31-ish range. And also the fact that a few of the yarns were discontinued, so for me to price them I had to go through like people's stashes on Ravelry and see how much they tagged the price as in their stashes. Still, we're talking more than $400 if everything was bought at full price with no sale price or anything like that. So that was a pretty successful thrift store run for me. It's been a long time since I've been that fortunate. There was one time where I found a ton of Noro and Malabrigo, and that was pretty great. This might actually be better, to be honest. I mean, let's see, these skeins of Quince & Co. Chickadee, they're 181 yards each, and I have 7. So that's a pretty significant project in and of itself. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of this stuff yet. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to find it, that's for sure. I didn't really expect to buy anything. So after we finished at the thrift store, I did go to the greenhouse and I got some flowers for my front, I don't want to say window box, it's a bit big for window box, but I will insert some footage at the end so you can see my new flowers. And I also repotted all of my houseplants. Some of them are looking a little funny at the moment because they're not, you know, rooted into their new pots yet, so they're being held up by sticks until they find their footing. But that's okay, that's just what they look like right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go try to get all this yarn organized into my stash and maybe pick 1 or 2 to work on as a project. But that was a really fun day for me. And hopefully next time you are in the area of a thrift store and you are browsing around, you find something really cool for yourself too. And I'm also gonna get that poor ammonite freed from that ugly clock so it can just be an ammonite with a hole in the center for no reason and sit on my desk. So yeah. Alright, I guess I can narrate a little bit. So this one, I think, is Marble Queen Pothos. And this one, my brother just bought me. He said it was called Crassula spiralis. Back there we've got my new mint plant, which I was going to put outside, and then I remember that mint is the devil. And will overtake everything. So I'm gonna keep it in here. This is my Jade Plant here. And right now she's being held up by a stick because she's a little top heavy. I might have to trim her back some more. She's getting a little funny shaped again. Basically, I'm supposed to spin her every certain number of days so that she grows evenly, and I always forget. This one is this Enjoy. It's a variegated Pothos anyway, and this is the Neon Pothos, which finally got a larger pot because it was getting a little root bound, so it's happier. My variegated Pothos, which is very unhappy since the move. It lost a ton of branches in the move, but it is slowly perking back up. The Monstera, I need some help with. I'm trying to find a good way to hold it up. So right now I have 2 trellises, and then I like made a yarn fence to try to keep it in there. But that's not really like a long-term solution, so I'm working on that. And then Mike's spider plant, I finally repotted. And it's still sticking up a bit because no matter how hard I tried, I could not get its roots to untangle so I could bury them all the way. I know that makes it sound like the pot's not big enough. The pot's definitely big enough width-wise. I'm not sure about depth. I might have to do it again in a few months. I don't know. But hopefully it will spread out a bit as it roots itself in this pot. So yeah, that's it for potting experiments today. Actually, I did want to show you one thing. Let's see if I can do this slowly enough so I don't make you all dizzy. Trying not to make you dizzy. Alright, so that Pothos there, look at the vine it's got going. It was all tangled up before I was, you know, repotting it and doing my maintenance. So I untangled it today. I didn't realize how long it had gotten. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so that's about it other than the outdoor plants, but I left a lot of space around them. I'm just hoping they do okay. I've never had outdoor plants before. So we'll see. So yeah, that's what I did today. So after looking through all the yarns and putting them away, I think I'm going to pair the Rinda yarn Pata with the 2 merinos that I had hand dyed. So this one was with the Jacquard purple and this is with the Jacquard violet. I think I'm going to do some Tunisian entrelac with that. That's going to be a future video, so you can expect to see that in the future. So yeah, that's about it. I have to go through and decide if I'm going to keep all those yarns or if I'm going to be putting some up on a de-stash site because there was a lot of yarn in there. But if you saw that yarn in a thrift store, would you pick it up? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious. Would you look through the bags in the store and only pick some of it? Would you have taken it all home? Yeah, I'm just curious what your thoughts are. So let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.